Now, this occurrence, this ceremony, this encounter that I had, honestly seemed like it was straight out of a movie. Hope you enjoy, and hope you're ready. And welcome back to another episode of Shanclen Shadow Productions. It is currently 12:55 in the morning right now, and I just got back to my place from picking up my sister from the airport. But as promised, I told you that I would have an episode out for you today, Friday, premiering tonight. And if you're watching this right now, I'm probably over at Gathering of Nations right now. So that's where I'll be. That's where you are, right here, watching Shanclen Shadow Productions. Oh, now let's get into the story here. So this episode is going to start out with a phone call from a family needing help. So this family recently had a family member pass away inside of their home. And so normally within our traditions, if somebody passes away in your home, you either move out or you get a ceremony done at your house. Now, they kind of waited a couple weeks after his burial and all the ceremonies. I would have to say the burial ceremonies were completed, but there wasn't a ceremony that was done for the home itself. Now, they started experiencing paranormal things happening. They said that they feel like the person that passed away is still around. They still hear him knocking on their windows, calling out to them. They still hear him knocking on the door. And there was a certain type of knock that he would use every time he would knock and try to enter in the home. Now, the thing is that was kind of fishy about this whole thing is the first question that popped up in my head was, if he passed away inside of the home, why can't he get back in? And another thing, why is he outside? So, bing, red flag number one right there. So we got this call, and I ended up going out there with my grandfather. And so we were talking about this whole ceremony and this trip and everything that was going to be happening at this time. So we made our way out there. It was a couple hours from where we were living, and the sun had set and we're getting ready to start the ceremony. Now, in this ceremony, there typically is a fire that's set outside of the home. You know, we use ashes, and I'm not going to disclose too much about exactly what we use in the ceremony, but outside there was a fireplace. And that's going to be a key factor later on inside of the story. So the whole family kind of gathered up, and they all entered inside of the home, and I was his helper for this ceremony right here. So I was the one that was in charge of maintaining the fire, making sure everything is okay. And so I would have to say it was around 10, 11 o'clock-ish in the evening time by the time all the needed family members showed up to the home, and they were requesting a blessing for my grandfather. So once everybody was inside of the home, I take a look around, and typical reservation home, you know, nearest neighbors a couple miles away. Normally they have like one street light above the home and everything, but this one, they didn't have a street light in this house. So there was just the fire that was going outside. So they turned off the outside street light, and the moon was out pretty high, I would have to say. So the ceremony began. So when we entered the house and we started shaking hands and introducing ourselves, getting the dish ready and everything that was going on, the feeling inside of the house was any typical house that you would feel death inside of there. It's kind of like that sadness, that sickening kind of feeling that's within there. And it's normally like that can kind of leave a stain on the home. If it's not properly kind of taken care of, that energy tends to linger around. So typically whenever we do a ceremony, we close all the blinds. If it's during the day, we try to do everything at night in the darkness. And so there's a reason behind that, but I can't really disclose that of exactly why we do that. So the ceremony starts, the singing begins, the prayers begin, the introductions begin, and I would have to say maybe about an hour into the ceremony, the ending, the middle prayers start to begin, and we start the investigation of trying to figure out what's going on. Because when we were doing the ceremony, the person that did pass away inside of the home was not there no more. They already had made their journey. And so if you guys have seen my Death Spirits video, This right here was not so much of a death spirit that was around. This was a death that happened inside of the family to where death spirit did not show up. So the energy of death that was around was attracting evil spirits to the home. And they were they smelt that death in the air, and they wanted to come to see what was going on here. Maybe that there was a body that they can use, or maybe there's some death energy that they can use themselves. So while we were beginning to start the songs of the ceremony to call upon a death spirit to kind of take care of that death energy that's around, this is what really freaked me out. Was because when my grandfather was singing the songs, they lived inside of a trailer, so we always faced the east, and the doorway of the home was facing the east, and they had two big windows on either side of the door. And so the fireplace was right outside the front door. I would have to say about 20-30 feet away. And so this was something that was very interesting, was because it was getting pretty late at night, and when we were doing the ceremony, I went outside, I would have to say twice by this time, to be able to go get some more charcoal and bring it inside for the ceremony as well. And nobody was around. We asked before the ceremony began, we asked the family, is this everybody? Is there anybody else that's going to show up? They're like, no, this is everybody in the family. And so we're like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. And so as they were singing the songs to call upon the death spirit to come take care of this evil, or not evil, the death energy that's around, this is where the energy starts picking up. Was because when he started singing that song, I saw a silhouette of a person walk in front of that window right there, and the whole family was kind of just sitting there, and they all saw that too, and everybody gasped. Even I gasped. I was like, because there was no one else in the family. And I turned and looked as my grandfather was singing his songs. I was just like, is there anybody else in the family that's here or showing up? And when somebody would be driving down the dirt road, you would see their headlights blare across the windows that were right there inside of the trailer. So I asked, is there anyone else? They're like, no. And this person had a ball cap on. And so it came, and he walked across the window right there, reflected off the moonlight that was shining in, as well as the fire that was right there. And he walked across real slowly. And I grabbed my sword, and I was just ready. The door wasn't locked. And so he made his way toward the door, and as my grandpa was singing his songs, he got more intense with it, because he knew that that was an evil spirit that showed up right there. And so he grabbed some more of his herbs, and he threw it onto the ash right there, and he sang even harder, and the doorknob started to shake, and like he was trying to open the door. And sure enough, he couldn't get it open for some reason. That door wasn't locked. I didn't lock it. So he then knocked on the door like it was that person that recently passed away. So everybody kind of the family started crying. They're like, that's him. And I said, that's not him. That's somebody else that's impersonating him to get inside of your house. And so I was like, do you feel that energy that's around? Does that feel like him? And they're like, no, it doesn't. It feels darker. I was like, because it's not him. It's an evil spirit that's right here. So then after the knocks, the pounding began on the door, and everybody was just kind of like, whoa. Like, I just remember my thoughts like, this is something you see like in the movie The Conjuring or Insidious or something like that. And so this ceremony had to have happened, I would say, like 5-6 years ago. It was pretty recent. And so then the songs continued, and as the songs began to, I guess you can say, finish up, the moonlight disappeared, like a giant kind of cloud went over it, and all you can kind of see was the fire, red and orange flickers against the window right there. And so as the songs were singing, that being went out the other side of the door across the other window and kept walking. And so after my grandpa sang those 4 songs, everything felt different. And the charcoal that was in front of us was going out. And I said, I had to go out there and get some more. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, is it safe? You think it's good? He's just like, take your weapon with you just in case. I was like, all right. So I get up, and after seeing that, you get the spooks. This is like some ghostly kind of stuff. Like I said, you only really see this kind of stuff in movies. So I get up and I make my way toward the door, and I kind of just listen for a little bit to see if I hear any footsteps or anything around. And I was like, all right. So I grab the doorknob, I twist it, and I open it, and I go out there. And like I was just like quick looking around, making sure there's no one around or anything. And then I closed the door behind me, and I had my sword just ready just in case anything were to happen. And I make my way to the fireplace. It was starting to go out, so then I put some more wood on there, and I get some more of the red hot ashes that were underneath too. Put it down on the shovel, and I start making my way. But like I was just chills instantly kind of throughout my whole body. I was like, all right, well, if anything happens, I got my ash right here. I got my sword if I need to as well. So and then I made my way back inside, and then we ended up finishing up the ceremony. And sure enough, the confirmation that he wasn't there anymore was true. And that was evil, darker spirits that were coming to sniff out the death and maybe, take more people if they wanted to, take more of their energies. And it was just really interesting to see like a full body apparition like that. And with the family kind of like gasping like that too, I was like, oh my God, that's like something you'd see in a movie and everything. So yeah, like that was just really, really interesting to be able to experience and see something like that in my lifetime. And we ended up finishing up the ceremony. The family fed us after the ceremony, and we packed up and we said our farewells. And pretty much mission complete was, we were able to call upon a spirit to be able to take the death energy out of the house. And so when that death energy was taken out, the home felt better. Put some protections up. We blessed the family and everything, gave them some herbs and medicines as well to be able to help them out. And I just remember we make our way out to the truck. The fire went out and everything. We made sure all that was good. Get back in the truck and we start driving home. And this had to have been like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We're driving back, kind of tired. And I just remember looking at my grandpa. I was like, did you see that? He's like, oh. And he just takes a hit of his cigarette. Like it's just nothing. We're just listening to some KTNN on the way back. And I was just like, okay, OG, okay. It was a really good ceremony though. Like I asked him other questions and stuff, but it's more so stuff I can't really share on YouTube at the moment right now. Maybe in the future. But let me know if you guys kind of like these little ceremony stories of occurrences and things that we've seen. I don't tell the names of the patients exactly or locations or anything for their safety and everything, but some of the things you see out there, it gets pretty wild like that. So just wanted to share that little experience I have with everybody. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this little Friday episode that I have right here. So for those of you out there who are watching this right now, like I said, it is currently past 1 o'clock in the morning right now as I'm recording this and it's going to be premiering today on Friday. So I will be at Gathering of Nations. And so if you're watching this in the future and it's not a Friday, then yeah, I'll probably be gone from Gathering of Nations. But I'm currently right now, as of this airing and premiering, that I am at Gathering of Nations. So if you're here and you need some photography, if you're a dancer or you want to get some news coverage, if you see me at Gathering of Nations, come say hi. I'll be there Friday and Saturday. So yeah, I have some awesome, amazing content. I just uploaded a new episode to Shanclen Shadow Productions, or Shanclen Shadow Lodge. Sorry, I'm really tired. Talking Shadows podcast with me and Bez Paul. We talk about a little bit about paranormal stuff. And up and coming Monday, we're going to be back on our normal schedule. So I'll be doing live streams on Monday. Maybe I could do 2 uploads on the Shanclen Shadow Lodge channel a week. And then Fridays will be this one. So we're planning out currently our second investigation. That's going to be in early May. So stay tuned for that. It's actually getting warmer, so we can actually go investigate now. And also, if you guys want to become a member of Shanclen Shadow Productions, you want to help us out monetarily, which is greatly appreciated. You get early access to these videos that sharing and seeing right here, because all the members already got to see this already. So consider becoming a Shanclen Shadow Productions member. And I'm also working on a new line of merch. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at official Shanclen SSP for daily updates. Like I said, I'll be at Gathering of Nations for like the 10th time I've said that. So you'll see that all the action and everything that's happening over there on my Instagram. So yeah, go follow me over there. If you guys have any questions, you can email me or send me a DM on Instagram as well. And yeah, hope you guys all enjoy. Hope you guys have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Hook on out. Golly, how long did I ramble on there? Jeez, it just kept going, man. Gathering Nations. Yeah, I gotta charge my batteries. I can't forget these. These are gift cards. Olive Garden, Starbucks. We'll be alright. But yeah, I gotta pack this up. I'm gonna go pack all this up. I'm gonna edit this video. And then we gotta leave real early, in like 2 hours. So I'll probably be up. If you see me at gatherings and I'm tired, just mind your business. Just kidding. Give me a monster. Give me some tobacco. It really helped me out. Thanks for watching. I got it.